All right. Good. We're on finally. Hey guys, that was 10 minutes of great stuff, wasn't it? just say yes. Just say yes. But
Record, Gabe.
I thank you. I think I started it, right? But look, guys, if you're not making money, it's very simple. You're just not working. You're not putting in the time. You're not running the numbers, right? If you're not recruiting anybody, you're not getting them on the webinars. You're not sending the videos. You're not prospecting enough people, right? You know, you have to be, you have to start, right? And I look at Saturday for us on a week-to-week basis. Saturday is the starting point of the week, right? As we have it structured, because at 11, from 11 to 11:30, you should be on a blitz of setting appointments, like Tiffany said. You have to set appointments. And what are the numbers? You want a sale this week? You have to what? Make sure you want 2 to 3 qualified meetings. Qualified. Not 2 or 3 people, single kids, or somebody that, you know, that is not a 5-point or 4 to 5 points. 2 to 3 qualified appointments, which means you have to schedule 5 to 6. And if you're going on your own, if you're already a qualified soloist, or you're going with a qualified trainer, you will write a sale every week. You know, that's one thing. The Elliots, right, have literally written a sale so far for the last 9 weeks. Every week wrote at least one sale. Every week for the last 9 weeks. By the way, the last 3 weeks, if I look at it, it was what? It wasn't themselves. It was somebody in their team who's still not licensed, and the sale came in their business. So when you recruit, that also leaves you open for more potential opportunities to write a sale. Okay? Another point I want to give you guys, your desire to have success here, or to help a family, or to build this business, has to be bigger than your distractions. And boy, there's a lot of distractions nowadays. So many different things that you can get distracted by, right? But you have to be intentional about what you do. You have to be intentional. You got to want to go out and help a family make money and build this business. Okay, so let's get into training. As I mentioned in the beginning, life insurance, right? Technical training today. I'm going to be covering fundamentals of life insurance. And look, again, it's not the sexy conversation to have. It's not the most fun training to do. And like I said before, it isn't something that I'm necessarily am infatuated by, right? I hate, I'll be honest with you, I hate insurance, period. All kinds of insurance, right? When you think about the purpose of insurance, it's really a necessary evil. That's really what it comes down to. However, what I love about what we do as a company when it comes to life insurance is exposing, right? It's having that enemy in the industry that is out there to literally, knowingly, purposefully, intentionally take advantage of you just so that they can make a buck. And that's just horrible, man. That's just horrible. You know, I'm looking, you know, don't tell my wife this. I hope she doesn't watch this video. She usually doesn't watch my stuff, so that's cool. I'm looking to get a car, right? Because the one I have now is 175,000 miles. You know, Tanya and I, we have a lot of money saved, and we're doing okay. And, you know, we're looking at something, maybe a hybrid, something that, you know, is a little bit cheaper. Maybe a year old, right? Nothing, we're not looking to it. And, you know, my wife is crazy about that. Me, I would have got the Tesla already. Pay cat, boom. Let me get the Tesla. She says, hell no. However, I'm sitting down with, and I have a couple of friends that are in the industry and their clients, right? And I was kind of, you know, talking about leasing versus purchasing, this and that. And he said something to me. Now, he was apparently direct, and I did my homework prior to, but I just asked him to see how he would respond in regards to, is it better to lease or finance? And he essentially said, finance. right? Because I'm looking to lease and all that stuff, and there are probably very specific reasons why you would lease. I wanted to have a conversation with Shaq about this. So I can get his opinion. But the point is, when he said to me, I never tell people this because I'll be working against my own income. Now, I think about that for a second. In the industry of, in the car sales industry, it is designed to take advantage of you. Period. Even if you go in with the right intentions as a salesperson, in the end, they make money by taking advantage of you. Guess what, guys? The same thing in life insurance. It's designed the same way. They're taught the same way. And after a while, when you hear it over and over and over, what happens to your conscience? It no longer bothers you. You literally think you're doing the right thing by selling this crap, trash value policies. So make no mistake about it. They're well trained, and you have to be well trained. You have to understand the fundamentals. So that is what we're going to be going over today. Let me open it up real quick. Oops, I think I got the wrong one on. Hold on. Oops, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. So, and again, like I always like to do, if you do have a question, post it to the chat. You can even jump in and ask. As long as it doesn't get too crazy, you know, I don't mind. I'm okay with that. I know it gets distracting for trainers, you know, but I'm cool with it. All right, cool. So let's get started. Life Insurance 101, master the fundamentals, guys. Master the fundamentals. So let's first start with the simple definition. Life insurance defined, okay? Life insurance, by textbook definition, it is designed to create an immediate estate in the case of premature death. Create an immediate estate in the case of premature death. So what does that ultimately mean? When you think about an estate ultimately is all the money, property, assets that you own all combined. So when you're talking about creating an immediate estate, meaning you're going to have a lump sum of money that comes in because a death of someone occurred. 2, 3, 4, 500,000, $1 million for some people, or more. So you're creating a lump sum of money. You have a lump sum of money if you died too early. What's early? Dying prematurely means what? Dying before you are able to retire. That's what that means here. Not necessarily age-wise. We usually reference 60, 65 years of age because that's when most people retire. A premature death, you know, how is that really defined? Right? In this case, in the case of insurance, it is defined by dying before you have grown or developed assets. Okay? So that's the textbook definition. Now, we don't all need life insurance throughout our entire lives any more than we need a car or home insurance. And that's simple. Think about that. There's a big misconception when it comes to life insurance specifically that we kind of been inundated with over the years. You need it for your whole life. You need it the moment you die because we're all going to die. So you need life insurance forever. That's not true. We don't need it any more than we need car and home insurance in the appropriate situation. In other words, if you don't have a car, should you have car insurance? No, you would think I'm crazy, right? If I don't own a house, should I have home insurance? Of course not, right? You ask anybody that and they'll tell you right away. No, you don't. That's kind of silly, right? But life insurance, you don't need it if you have money by definition. That's why we call it income protection. because that now changes the narrative for the average person. Income protection is a better way to define life insurance because it specifically covers the replacement of money. So if you have the money, you don't need the insurance or you don't need the protection. Okay, now life insurance is ultimately two things. A bet that you hope to lose, because if you win, that means you're dead. Right? So the company is actually betting that you're not going to die. You are paying that you are. Think about that. It's really death insurance when you know, if you want to define it properly. It's not life insurance. It's just not as marketable. And secondly, it's retiring, or it is ultimately renting wealth until you can afford to get your own. Isn't that a pretty cool perspective on it? Right? Life insurance is two things. A bet that you hope to lose, because if you win, you're dead. And secondly, you're renting wealth. Somebody else is going to give you an estate or a certain amount of money that will allow your family to have hundreds of thousands of dollars so that they can continue living without the need of working, because the ability for that individual to work stopped. So essentially, you're renting wealth. Okay? So there's a couple key statements that I like to kind of at some point in the presentation I bring up, or not in every, and with some of these it is in a very specific part or area, but in some way, shape, or form I like to bring them up because I believe they kind of provide a clear picture. Always remember, when you're speaking, when you are training, when you are presenting, you're really, the best presenters provide a picture, right? It's not just words. Words don't move people. Providing the picture is what moves people, because we don't think, Tiffany, in terms of words, right? We think in pictures, right? When you think of your kids, you think of Shaq. When you think of Samir, you think of a picture, right? You see their face, so to speak. That's why a lot of people are better at remembering faces than they are names. So we think in pictures. Your ability to present and offer a picture plays a huge role. There's a great book called Story Selling for Financial Advisors. Great book. I read it a long time ago. I need to pick it up again, actually. Right? And sometimes providing, as you're presenting, providing that picture is critical. So one thing I use is, because people think of it and it's complicated for them, I usually like to start and ask, what is your understanding of life insurance, and kind of get a feel for how they see it, okay? And then here's what I say. Life insurance, as far as I'm concerned, is very simple. If you make money, Tiffany, and someone else depends on it, you need to protect it. That's it. Think about that. And notice the tonality that I did it with. I want for them, the number one, ensure that they're paying attention, and number two, that as I'm going through the explanation, I pause methodically. I want them to register that. Life insurance, as far as I'm concerned, is really simple. Notice how I did that. It's really simple. I want them to kind of get that natural understand. It's simple. If you make money, and by the way, here I'm circling, you know, present in the presentation, when you have the life insurance page, you got the making $3,500 each, and then the child. I'm circling the child at the same time. If you make money and someone else depends on that money, You need to protect it. Wouldn't you agree? See, asking even that simple question is important. Wouldn't you agree, right? Get them on your side right away. Something else I use. Life insurance is a necessary evil. Admittedly, I don't like paying for any kind of insurance until something happens. Then we all want to have it. Notice how I did that. Admittedly, I don't like paying for any kind of insurance, not just life, right? I do that on purpose. Any kind of insurance until something happens, and then we all wish we had it. There's another little phrase or statement you can use. Now, this one here is a little bit more direct. And how you offer it up is important, right? So I'm going to kind of go through it. If I'm talking to Sandra, and let's say she's still not buying into the getting life insurance, she gets it, but she's still kind of, you know, a little bit, what's the word? You know, in doubt, right? Hey, look, do you have car and home insurance? She's going to say yes. Granted, it's the law. I do that on purpose. Why? Because I've gotten that objection. Well, I need to have it because it's the law. Okay, I want to avoid that right now, right? Granted, it's the law, but you would agree it's important, right? See, I get them confirming with me, so now that objection is not going to come up. So if I asked you, Sandra, what is the most important thing in your life right now? What would it be? Most people say, right, wait for an answer. Most people will tell you, my family, right? 99% of people. My family. So let me ask you, you would protect your car and your home, but not your family? May I ask why? Soften the blow. Yes, Tiffany, it's okay to do that, right? How you present it, how you bring it forward with a smile. You have a great smile, Tiffany. You can say that to people and smile. You would be surprised their response. They'll be like, you know, I never thought of it like that. Right? Lower your tone and when you say that. You're not trying to be combative, but you're trying to be honest, right? It's the truth. Look, you got to see yourself as a professional. You got to believe that you're there with the intent. If your intention really is to make a difference, then guess what? People left to their own devices will falter. Don't be afraid to challenge them. You challenge your kids, right? Don't be afraid to challenge others. If you're a professional and your intention when you sit down with them is to make a difference. So don't be afraid to ask that question. It's important. May I ask why? And they'll tell you, right? And even if they don't say nothing, you can see right away their response, and you'll know if you're getting them now to understand why they need it. You'll know right away. And if their response to you is, and I've never had this response, but if their response to you is, well, I don't care. Okay, then you know what? Thank you for your time. Don't keep wasting it. Right? Don't be afraid to do that either. Sometimes you have to do that. Most people, and this is a note that I was thinking about when I was putting this together, and Shaq said this years ago. Most people don't view life insurance as a tangible thing. So you have to really be able to quantify for them. What do I mean by that, Richard? When you think about a car, right, and you pay car insurance, you drive your car almost every day. Most people. So there is a natural understanding of why I got to pay the insurance. Same thing with a home. I live in my house. So it's understandable, but life, right? Life insurance per se isn't tangible. It isn't something that people think about in the same way as a car or a home. So you have to be able to quantifier for them. What do I mean by that? Check this out. So I literally go over numbers because numbers don't lie. If you look at the average cost of car insurance, right? Only